Welcome to 502 Sessions. I'm Brian Kirby. My guest today is the bluegrass quartet Southern Rail. Southern Rail is celebrating their 41st anniversary this year and their 11th recording. Over the years, their recordings have graced Bluegrass Unlimited's top 30 singles charts for a combined total of 32 months, and their bluegrass gospel compilation Glory Train was nominated by the International Bluegrass Music Association for Best Gospel Recording of the Year. They are prolific songwriters, and they are listed on the New England Foundation for the Arts' prestigious touring roster. They have collaborated with the 60-piece Boston Saengerfest Men's Chorus, several Bluegrass Mass celebrations, and choirs. Southern Rail is Jim Mueller on guitar and vocals, Sharon Horvich on bass and vocals, John Tybert on mandolin and vocals, and Rich Stillman on banjo and vocals. Southern Rail.
1, 2, 3, 4. North Carolina lightning, silver threads across the sky. North Carolina lightning, thunder rolling from on high. Light my way down the highway, though the rain is pouring down. Come the morning, I'll be home in the mountains that I love. 6:35 in the evening, and the sky is black and gray, caressing the tops of the mountains. All these clouds are here to stay. Howling winds through the valley shake the trees against the sky. It can't shake the power that called me to keep rolling down the road. And the rain is pouring down. I see my foolish life flash before me. All the roads that I've traveled, all the hills that I've climbed, and I wonder why I ever went away. In an hour I'll be coming home to stay. Coming home to stay. North Carolina lightning, silver threads across the sky. Show me the way to tomorrow as my home is drawing nigh. Don't let me ever think of leaving, scare me home if I try. Come the morning, I'll be home in the mountains that I love. Don't let me ever think of leaving, scare me home if I try. Come the morning, I'll be home in the mountains that I love. My Carolina home, my Carolina home. Do you know, my friend, can live your life full of sorrow. You can live your life full of pain. But will you be ready for tomorrow when the Almighty Lord calls your name? Do you know, my friend, where you're going? Have you heard that word from on high? Will you reap those seeds that you're sowing when you're called to your home by and by? You can fool yourself to believing that you hold all the keys in your hand, but it's only yourself you're deceiving when you're locked at the gates to the promised land. Do you know, my friend, where you're going? Have you heard that word from on high? Will you reap those seeds that you're sowing when you're called to your home by and by? Do you know, my friend, where you're going? Have you heard that word from on high? Will you reap those seeds that you're sowing when you're called to your home by and by? When you're called to your home by and by. Oh Lord, I'm standing here before you, though I know there are many more in line. Some are brave, strong, and tall. Oh Lord, I feel so small. I'm a little man. Don't forget me by and by. The field I planted in the springtime, sowing seeds with my muscles and my tears. But despite the toil and the pain, they would grow without the rain. I'm a little man. Don't forget me by and by. this weary world is ended, and I'm called to stand before your golden throne. All the little deeds I've done will shine brightly as the sun, just a little man, not forgotten by and by, just
502 Sessions, I'm here with Southern Rail, specifically Jim Mueller of Southern Rail. 41 years of Southern Rail. So let's speak about that, actually. So are you the Southern Rail man? You started the band, or?
Sharon and I did, yes.
Okay. 41 years ago.
Pretty much. If you do the arithmetic, it comes out that way.
And was it always a quartet, or you guys started as a duo?
It's always been a quartet.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
And were you always writing, or were you playing bluegrass standards?
Pretty much, I've been writing for that whole time. I mean, you know, the thing about interesting bluegrass is that you like to do standards, but you like to do your own stuff also. So I've been writing for a long time.
And I imagine over 41 years, the band's, I guess you haven't gone through instrumental changes probably. It's always mandolin, bass, guitar, and banjo?
We've had a few other changes.
Oh.
We've had a dobro player for a short spell. We've had
short spell, it didn't work out because?
Oh, because he's an awesome player, but he's now working with someone else, and he's in Connecticut. He's really good. But we had a fiddle player off and on in the early days especially. But more recently it's been banjo, mandolin, guitar, and bass. Let's talk a little bit about the writing. So the first 4 tunes we heard, well, Tractor Pull, I know John wrote that, right? Yeah, John wrote that one.
And then the kind of 2 gospel-y tunes, right?
Yes.
So we'll talk about that part of it in a minute, but who wrote the first 3 songs there?
I did.
Oh, they're all yours?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting. So when you're writing the material, are you coming, I can't be from personal experience, I'm hoping.
Well, some of it is.
Oh.
The first one, Carolina Lightning, was, we played a bluegrass festival in North Carolina, and we got caught in one wicked booma, as they say up here in Massachusetts. We got caught in an incredible thunderstorm sequence. And
on stage?
No.
Oh,
this
okay.
was on the way, getting down there, and it was actually in Virginia or North Carolina, and it was in North Carolina, and I said, I got to write a song about this. So that's what I wrote Carolina Lightning for. And
what were the next Do You Know?
Do You Know?
Yeah, okay, that can't be personal, right?
No.
Okay, good. I was going to say, unless you're one of the, that'd be a scary experience for me.
Well,
I mean, if you said it was personal, I know there's something wrong here, and I would probably leave the building right away.
Yeah, well.
But, all right, so where does that song come from?
A lot of bluegrass has fairly serious roots, and especially the gospel roots. And I felt like it would be a good subject for, you know, make you think twice about what you're doing. Notice it doesn't tell you, it doesn't try to preach to you about what you should be believing, but it asks, have you thought about it? And then I thought that was a good message to bring out. The song itself, the chord structure is, you know, it's an intense modal, mountain modal type sound, and that's what I was going for when we wrote this one.
So speak to me about mountain modal. So I know I've played modal songs myself, but is mountain modal a specific? So I know, like, well, probably I'm thinking Dorian is kind of mountain modal, or
could be, yeah. I mean, in bluegrass, the term usually refers to songs that use flatted seventh,
yeah, okay, that's right,
and a flatted third in combination sometimes. You know, that song is in B, and the chord sequence tends to go B, A, you know, F sharp. So that's sort of typical of one particular style. I know, and for classical musicians, mode means different things. There's many different modes, 12 different modes, but 8 different whatever. But
and then there are 8 on top of that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, of course. But in bluegrass, the term is typically used to, I guess it would be Dorian.
It's interesting because, you know, part of my musical training, if you're on stage with someone and they yelled out, they had an original head maybe, and they'd go, it's rhythm changes. Everybody knows what they mean. Or if this is a blues, of course, almost everybody knows what that means. So if you had written an original tune and you had to stand in immediately and you said, this is a mountain tune, mountain modal, people could kind of follow along right away?
Maybe, yeah, possibly. I mean, there's enough commonality and enough components to the style that people could pick it up. Although one of the things you try to do when you're writing original material is do something a little bit different. Not really so far afield that people don't understand it, but you know, you like to be creative, and so, you know, this happens when we're bringing up a new song in practice. Sometimes I'll say, well, I wrote this one, here's how it goes, and I'll start playing it, and the rest of the band will jump in, And that's really cool. It works really well until I get to the first chord change that's different from what a classic song might do. It's like, oh, well, it really goes like this.
Oh.
So sometimes, you know.
So there's tweaking.
There's tweaking, yeah. And sometimes, you know, you could play a song and, you know, other people, if you're in a jam session, for example, people would maybe listen through it once or twice, but then pick it up right away and pick up on the second verse.
So Southern Rail, 41 years, but you didn't pick up guitar right then, right? You must have played before that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I started playing guitar, I don't know, 60 years ago. Something like that, yeah. So I've been playing guitar for quite a while.
And so for the first 20 years, was it all acoustic guitar, or did you dabble in?
All acoustic.
So this is your style?
Yes. In fact, the truth is, my parents they listened to classical music, but they also listened to bluegrass on the radio. I'm from Virginia. And I remember falling in love with banjo when I was like, you know, 3 or 4 or something like that. So yeah, I've loved this stuff for.
But but you're a guitar player.
Yeah, because I can't do the banjo. I've tried. I can do it reasonably well.
You love it, but it doesn't love you.
I can't keep up with Rich. I mean, there's no way.
Unrequited love.
Yes. Well, I mean, you know, it's like I found that when I played banjo, if I didn't play it for an hour a day, I'd be set back for a week. Wow. I mean, it's tough to, you know, I can't master the guitar either. You know, nobody ever does, as far as I can tell. But banjo is especially difficult, or especially hard to maintain really good performance level, and to do it with a band.
You have 11 recordings out over the 41 years?
That's
what you told me anyway.
It's 11, yeah. I haven't counted them for a long time. I mean, there's 9 CDs, 2 vinyl discs, 1 DVD, I think.
Wow, you go back to vinyl. Of
course. Yeah.
Yeah, did you skip over cassette tapes, or did you make those too?
Well, we made cassette tapes. Yeah.
Okay.
The first vinyl recording was in 1987.
Yeah.
In fact, it had that song that we did, "Just a Little Man," on it.
Are you? Speaking of vinyl, I do have a couple of, what do they call them, audiophiles in my friendship list, where they still prefer some of the vinyl stuff over the. Okay. We have some, but most of them we tend to keep them as archive versions because they're kind of scarce. Are they now? Yeah. So you don't press them again, but you must have re-released them on CDs?
We did some of them. We took some of those tracks and put them on a CD that we call Early Years. But those were very limited production levels.
And if people want to find you, what's the website?
southernrail.com.
Okay.
Which we've had that domain name for a long, long time.
All righty, great. How about some more music, and then I'll delve more into the writing process, if that's all right.
More music.
More music.
Good idea.
Jim Mueller of Southern Rail. Southern Rail is here on 502 Sessions. Thank you.
I didn't ask for the sunrise. It came up on its own. I didn't ask for the mountains. They just grew up out of stone. I didn't ask for the flowers that sparkled in the bright morning dew. All I wanted was a lover to hold me, and the Lord in His wisdom sent me you. I didn't ask for a snowfall that blankets a quiet winter's day. I didn't plan on the seasons, I guess they just turned out that way. I didn't plan to be lonely, then I heard your voice sweet and true. All I wanted was a lover to hold me, and the Lord in His wisdom sent me you. I've seen the stars in the evening as the sun disappears from the sky. I've seen the sun, I've felt the rain, I've learned to sing and to cry. I didn't ask for October, that's followed by November all too soon. I didn't ask for the twilight or the glow of a pale harvest moon. Every day I'm reminded of the joy that surrounds me and you. All I wanted was a lover to hold me, and the Lord in His wisdom sent me you. Every day I'm reminded of the joy that surrounds me and you. All I wanted was a lover to hold me, and the Lord in His wisdom sent me you. All I wanted was a lover to hold me, and the Lord in His wisdom sent me you.
Come on, boy, I want to show you where I played as a kid. Running through the tall grass, it was all I ever did. As big as is forever, the field inside the pines. I'd go there in the morning and stay out till supper time. I went back, I have seen what is now but once had been. A place that I remember and look back on with tender thoughts and dreams. With much anticipation I spent talking of Blue Street. Oh, sonny, it is the coolest place for playing hide and seek. I pulled up around the corner and fell onto the steering wheel. Looks like there's a new crop in Old Man Bennett's field. I went back, I have seen what is now but once had been. A place that I remember and look back on with tender thoughts and dreams. All the tall grass filled in with tar and pave, and rows of houses like stones that mark the graves of every fond memory of all I ever did. Gone is the field of glory, gone is that little kid. I went back, I have seen what is now but once had been. A place that I remember and look back on with tender thoughts and that I remember and look back on with tender thoughts and dreams.
again in the quiet of the evening when the cool of night descends. If you listen very softly, you hear voices in the wind. Jody, slow the horses down, the baby's gone to sleep. So many obligations some promises to keep. Oh Lord, please protect us from the hazards of this day. For the land of California is still 1,000 miles away. Where the roads come together, there are voices in the wind, an echo from the ages through the years and back again. In the quiet of the evening, when the cool night descends, if you listen very softly, you hear voices in the wind. Sergeant says to pack our gear, there'll be no sleep tonight. Richardson's battalion is marching into sight. It's a long road through tomorrow to an end we cannot see. Will our bodies still be living, or our souls be set free? Be moving on, the herd has moved away, closer to the mountains, at least another day. We thank you for your goodness, O great spirit of the land. But to make it through this winter, we will need your guiding hand. Where the roads come together, there are voices in the wind, an echo from the ages through the years and back again. In the quiet of the evening, when the cool of night descends, if you listen very softly, you hear voices in the wind. If you listen very softly, you hear voices in the wind.
.502 Sessions, I'm back with Jim Mueller of Southern Rail Bluegrass Quartet, Southern Rail. I want to talk to you about the bluegrass gospel connection, because in your writing and it seems from your bio, it's pretty strong for your group. And I've had several other groups on, and a lot of it's about whiskey and hitting people with a shovel, and so there must be like a couple of different branches of bluegrass here. Is that not correct? Or?
Well, if I was going around hitting people with a shovel, I'd probably be concerned about singing about a gospel song. I might want to think about that.
Well, this was it was kind of a parody song, Whacker with a shovel.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I mean, bluegrass, the heritage of the music, the source of many of the songs, some of it was gospel because that was important to people. And some of it was people's troubles, because that was important too. So you get sort of a good cross-section of a hard life.
So when you walk into a jam session, so you're from Virginia, you said?
Yes.
Total gospel and bluegrass country.
Pretty much,
and folk music.
Yeah, well, back in those days, yes.
So do you have a certain, what do they call it, certain air when you walk into a club in the Northeast? Because you're from Virginia, so you...
Well, I've been up here for a long time, so...
It doesn't matter, you're still from Virginia.
Yeah, I know, but
you know how they talk, you know how it is up here, you're from away.
Well, actually, you know, I can make it sound like I'm from down south, but I don't have to. No, what we have found is that there's a really good, solid, strong acoustic music, enthusiastic support in the Northeast, especially the Boston area. That includes bluegrass. So yeah, you know, it's been, you know, a good opportunity to play, a great place to play over the years.
Well, and you guys have toured coast to coast, right?
Yeah.
So there's no shortage of bluegrass fans everywhere, it seems like, because I've had other bands in and they do some huge festival in Norway.
Yeah, they're right. I mean, there are festivals all over the place.
And is bluegrass, it's an American art form, right?
Absolutely.
Folk music isn't, but the bluegrass genre, because every place has folk music, because literally it's folk
Yes.
music.
Every place has their own folk music.
But
yes.
bluegrass, that style is
Yes.
an American.
It originated actually in the Appalachians, especially this banjo style that Rich plays. That's the three-finger bluegrass banjo style.
Okay.
I mean, the banjo itself, the roots go back to Africa. But playing like this, especially, the music got its name from a particular mandolin player named Bill Monroe, who back in the 1940s formed a band called Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys, because he was from Kentucky, and that's the bluegrass state. That's where the name came from. But he sort of discovered some really good musicians, a guitar player and singer named Lester Flatt, and a banjo player named Earl Scruggs. And you put them together, and they took some of the classic folk songs from that era, and just goosed them up, punched the energy up, and this is what came out.
All right. Let's hear some more music then.
All right, you got it.
Jim Mueller of Southern Rail is with me on 502 Sessions, and the entire band is here. Sharon Horvich on bass, John Tybert on mandolin, and Rich Stillman on banjo. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
My old friend, when I'd wander to the playground, my old friends, they'd be waiting for a game. There we'd play till time for dinner, and we'd all go home a winter. Summer days we thought would never end. I'd be glad, 'cause I'd be seeing my old friends. My old friends, on the morning of the wedding, my old friends helped to guide me down the aisle. From my old friends I was parting, but a new life I was starting, and I knew after all I could depend on the love that I had for my old friend. My old friends, when my glory comes to meet me, my old friends, they will greet me on the way. When I've reached my life's December, all the dear friends I remember will be waiting for me round the bend. I'll be glad, 'cause I'll be seeing my old friends. gotta walk your way to heaven on the road to the other side.
On the road that leads to glory,
Where the gates are open wide. It's a long and uphill struggle, but the Lord's right by your side.
you gotta walk your way to heaven.
You gotta walk 'cause you can't ride. On the highway, from the cradle to the grave,
Precious cargo,
your immortal soul to save. Keep on moving, for the Lord's sweet love you crave. On the road from this world to glory land, you gotta walk your way to heaven on the road to the other side.
on the road that leads to glory,
When the gates are open wide, it's a long and uphill struggle, but the Lord's right by your side.
you gotta walk your way to heaven.
You gotta walk 'cause you can't ride. On the hillside, where the path is steep and long,
To keep climbing,
you can sing the gospel song, love in spirit. When the faith and love is strong on the road from this world to glory land, you gotta walk your way to heaven on the road to the other side.
on the road that leads to glory,
When the gates are open wide, it's a long and uphill struggle, but the Lord's right by your side.
you gotta walk your way to heaven.
You gotta walk 'cause you can't ride. You gotta walk your way to heaven on the road to the other side.
on the road that leads to glory,
When the gates are open wide, it's a long and uphill struggle, but the Lord's right by your side.
you gotta walk your way to heaven.
You gotta walk 'cause you can't ride. You gotta walk your way to heaven. Heaven, you gotta walk 'cause you can't ride. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee one by one, 'cause the one was a little bitty baby, born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee two by two. Two was Paul and Silas. One was a little bitty baby, born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee three by three. Three was the Hebrew children. Two was the Paul and Silas. One was the little bitty baby, born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee four by fours. Four was the four that stood at the door. Three was the Hebrew children. Two was the Paul and Silas. One was the little bitty baby, born in Bethlehem. My children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee five by five. Five was the gospel preachers. Four was the four that stood at the door. Three was the Hebrew children. Two was the Paul and Silas. One was the little bitty baby, born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee, oh, I'm gonna send thee 10 by 10s. The 10 was the 10 commandments, 9 was the 9 that stood in the line, 8 was the 8 that waited at the gate, 7 was the 7 that never got to heaven, 6 was the 6 that didn't get fixed, 5 was the gospel preachers, 4 was the 4 that stood at the door, 3 was the Hebrew children, and 2 was the Paul and Silas, 1 was a little bitty baby, born in Bethlehem.
502 Sessions, my guest today has been the Bluegrass Quartet Southern Rail. You can find them at southernrail.com. John Tybert on mandolin, Sharon Horvich on bass, Rich Stillman on banjo, and Jim Mueller on guitar, and they all sing. 502 Sessions is all about original music, so if you're a musician and you have a band, or if you're a solo artist, don't hesitate to get in contact with me. I'm at 502sessions@gmail.com, and you can check out more shows at 502sessions.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
One more song?
Oh, you bet.
Sure.
All right. Southern Rail.